David Grossman tells me if you're going to keep going, mention Bill Clinton blaming millennials, but you should.
Oh, yes.
Well, they said we should close. Should we close?
We can close, but we do need to mention that Bill Clinton is an idiot. He's an absolute moron. Y'all can't quote me and tweet that. I'm so sick and damn tired. When we talk about, like, because people really want to, because you got a whole bunch of Hillary supporters that always want to talk about, oh, Bernie has white male privilege. You know what? Nobody has white male privilege unlike David Brock and Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? White men with power who think they can go around doing anything and everything they can do. And no, this is not a rant against white men because I don't like you guys. Of course, we're all people. I love you. Some of my best friends are white. However, Bill Clinton, you know what I'm saying, blaming millennials for the fact that 2010, election cycle went the way it was. One, many of the people that we consider millennials today couldn't even vote 6 years ago. First off, right? If you're someone like my little sister, you were in junior high school. That's one. Two, somebody like Ben and I, who are at the very tail end of the millennials, Generation X, we're on the cusp. We were voting. Matter of fact, you might have even been purged. No, that was a little bit earlier. You were purged, but like some of us, you were purging when we were younger voters, right? Mm-hmm. So like you can't attack us and blame us for the reason why we were not active, engaged. And it wasn't just millennials. When you look across the board, voting was down. Voting has been down the last 6 years. State houses all across the country are red, not because millennials or black voters or whatever one group you want to pin it on. It's because the Democratic Party has laid down on a damn sword and not done a damn thing. In 2010, Democrats were like, oh my God, what do we do electing this black guy with this funny name? We can't defend him back home. So they ran from him. They did it in 2010, they did it in 2012, and they did it in 2014. That is why Democrats lost. They didn't suck it up and stay with their guy. They tried to run from him. So blaming all of us is not okay.
Well, here's the thing. You hit that on the head, because there were a lot of progressives. I remember getting into an argument with a new media friend that I have now. At the time, we weren't media friends, but I remember arguing with her because I'm like, if you keep talking like this, you're going to discourage progressive turnout. But then it turned around, and it wasn't progressives who didn't turn out. It was Democratic establishment people distancing themselves from Barack Obama in 2010 because they voted for the ACA, but they didn't want to run on the ACA. So they ran away from the ACA. And so they lost because not only did you have progressives who were a little upset because we did not get a real health care bill, but then you also had progressive who like, if you're not going to support your own candidate, why the hell would we? And then you had other Democrats who were just not disenfranchised, but demoralized because their leadership would not even stand behind the policies that they just got through fighting for. They sat down on themselves and they want to rewrite history and make it seem like we don't remember. There's still footage. There's still videos on YouTube of people running away from Barack Obama in 2010 and 2014. And Bill Clinton wants to take the time to blame millennials, many of whom I was teaching as a grad student in college. They weren't even, most of them were probably just old enough freshmen in college, just old enough to vote, if they were old enough to vote at all. So I think this is just another example of the Democratic Party trying to scare millennials and scare the more revolutionary, the younger people into submitting. And that's the most ridiculous thing about this election, Anoa. And I'll let you get the last word after this. The most ridiculous thing is they want to hit us over the head. They want to deride us. They want us to give up. They want to demoralize us. They want to break us. They want us to give up the idea of revolution. They want us to give up on single payer. They want us to give up on basic income. They want us to give up on everything that we know to be progressive, the things that they used to say was progressive. They want us to completely concede and give in to them, and then they want us to go vote for them.
Well, that's like how everything is happening right now in the campaign. Everything Bernie Sanders says, Bernie Sanders could say tomorrow the sky is blue, the earth revolves around the sun, and Hillary Clinton and the mainstream Democrats will come out and say he's lying, that's not true. Like established facts, like things that we accept as general truths. He could say a list of things that are basic things we learn in school as to be true, and they would come out and find some way to try and convince everybody it wasn't true. Why? Because it does not suit their ultimate agenda, which is crowning their queen and solidifying their little, bastion of power. Like seriously, and there are articles going back to like 2011 where Bill Clinton is talking about how the ACA does not go far enough, and single payer, not just universal healthcare in general, but single payer is actually the way to go, that it is more feasible, that XYZ countries do it, and that our current system is still too costly. This is only a few years ago, right? And now all of a sudden they want to try and convince us that Bernie Sanders is wrong and he's trying to destroy America. This is ridiculous. You have Howard Dean today talking about how Bernie Sanders is trying to destroy the party. He's what's wrong. His rhetoric is what's wrong with America. No, dude, you're a paid lobbyist. Why the hell should I listen to you? You make money off of the same people that we need to rein in and get in line. Like, you have an A rating from the NRA. The same group your girl claims is so detrimental to American society. Like, that's the hypocrisy of the Clinton campaign, right? They will claim that things like gun control are so important, but you got Ben, sorry, Ben. You got Bill Clinton on the damn trail talking about, Bernie supporters will shoot every third Wall Street executive. So you got Bill Clinton making gun control, mass shooting jokes, all the while Hillary Clinton is talking about gun control, all the while some of her biggest supporters have great ratings from the NRA. Oh, and happen to be former NRA lobbyists as of a few months ago, donating money to her. So like the hypocrisy of the mainstream, internal group, you have these people talking about how we need to make sure all rights are available to everyone, and you had some of our biggest supporters in the South are bigots, talking about the five, the Congress folks coming out of North Carolina and the state legislature who are Democrats who signed that bill in North Carolina. And like you have, there's so much hypocrisy going on in the Democratic Party right now. When we look at our state parties are in shambles. They're in absolute disarray. We're talking about, well, she's helping the down ballot races. They're helping down ballot races, not for the betterment of people, for whoever their hand-picked, personal chosen playmates are, right? We're not looking at who's going to really get in there and do something. Because when you're talking about Georgia, when you talk about South Carolina, Alabama, we need Medicare. We need Medicaid expansion down here, right? Like you got between all these states, you got millions of people without health care, and ain't nobody really talking about that. They just trying to keep their little piece of fiefdom in order. And like to see the head of the Georgia Democratic Party sign on, and his little petty cronyism they got going on here, it is so ridiculous. So yeah, no matter win or lose, we need this revolution, and I need all of y'all to stay with us and keep it moving. Even if you decide you want to go over to the Green Party, progressives have to stick together regardless of what party we technically belong to. It needs to transcend party.
And you know what? We need you to be mad, because
gotta stay mad.
The Republican Party has mastered this. The best way to keep you from being apathetic is to keep you angry. And we need you to be upset about what was done in this election, about the progressive values that were sold out in this election. Because and you know what? Even if it's something, listen, I know what makes people mad. I know how to make people angry. I specialize in that. I have to work really hard at not being a troll, because I'm a troll naturally. I like to piss people off. I understand exactly what you need to be angry, but I think you've seen it enough. I think you've seen enough people dismissing your point of view. I think you've seen enough people trying to tell you that you are imagining this and that this isn't really progressive. Franklin Roosevelt wasn't really progressive. Lyndon B. Johnson wasn't really progressive with Medicare, and Bernie Sanders isn't really progressive. You've seen enough dismissal of your reality for you to be angry without me ever reminding you. But because I love you guys, I'm going to remind you for the next 4 years straight about what they did to keep progressivism suppressed, and what they did to elevate neoliberal Democratic DLC party values above what they've been saying for the last 30 years. I'm going to remind you that what they've said for the last 30 years has been a lie. And I'm not just going to keep you angry by reminding you. I'm going to get you mobilized. You have to get out there. You have to become a chairman of some party. You got to become the chairman. You got to become a district leader. You have to become a precinct captain. You got to do something more than tweet about it, because they control the reins of power, and you can use this anger to overthrow their power. And that's what we've got to do. That's what it's time to do.